Thanksgiving. I hope you guys are going to have a fantastic weekend ahead. This little one is part of the video, A, because he has a fear of missing out, and B, it's all about family and love for Thanksgiving. So welcome our special guest, Sir Rusty. So when it comes to Thanksgiving, oftentimes we get stressed out or we get anxious. Why? Because of food pushers. And this is very common in health and fitness transformations when we're trying to eat very clean and we're put in situations where it is a holiday. We can enjoy ourselves, but sometimes we definitely want to bring a portion balance in mind. And it's really hard when you're around your family that don't follow the same plan as you. Am I right? Well, don't worry. I'm going to give you some top tips right now that you can practice this weekend. So when it comes to food pushers, first of all, we need to kind of know who they are. And there's 3 different types. The first one is very common, and they're the ones that might try and have a glass of wine or have this piece of pie. But if you say no, they don't really care and they're not offended. B is the characteristic of, I call usually the mother or the grandma, and they bake this beautiful pie, and you say, I don't really want one today. I'm pretty full, and they are deeply offended and hurt. Those are a little bit more difficult to deal with, but we can work around it. And the last one, very uncommon. They're more narcissistic in nature, and those are the ones that basically want you to fail and will sabotage you. We're not going to go into that type of person for Thanksgiving because it is very uncommon, but I will address this issue in another video. So when it comes to Thanksgiving, you're ready, you're sitting down for dinner, and people are piling up their food. And somebody might push that ladle on you to have some more stuffing. What do? You have one option, and that is to take what they've put on your plate, but choose in mind that you're only going to have the portions that you've decided. Push a little bit to the side, and when you're done, put your fork and knife in an X because you're visually going to see that you've finished. Or you can say no thank you and keep passing it around. You do not need to give an explanation. I usually say no thank you and divert a question right on them with something that they enjoy. And usually they forget that they've just even asked you if you wanted that stuffing. Now, what happens if your grandma made you a beautiful apple pie and ice cream and all the fixings, and you know what? You really can't stop yourself, and you think, if I go into this and eat that pie, I'm just going to keep going. 2 options. One, because we don't want to offend our grandma, my suggestion would be to say, Grandma, I'm really full from dinner. It was so good. Can I please take a slice home with me so I can have it later on in the evening and I can really enjoy it? That way you're not offending her, and B, you're basically delaying your gratification for that pie and saying to yourself, you can still have it. However, I'm going to move it later on to see if I actually do want it. I even had some people just throw it out after, but again, you're not offending her because you're taking it for later. And my last suggestion when it comes to Thanksgiving, if your family push food on you and saying, you really need to take more, what I suggest is bring some Tupperware and pack the food that you can eat in a small container. And that way, if you really wanted seconds and you feel deprived out of it, again, you've used that delayed gratification method by saying, I'm going to take the food that I would have had for seconds, but I'm going to have it later on, or I'll have it tomorrow. So I hope these tips helped you guys. I hope you have a safe, fun, and loving Thanksgiving. And from Rusty and I, we thank you for watching the video.